with robotics, automation, etc. So this is, let's say, the big driver. And I think in the moment, industry is booming very well. Automotive industry as well as Festo, another company, they have the best year ever since they're existing. But it's not only about success stories, it's also about challenges, as you can see. Especially in Germany, we are one of the most expensive places in the world to manufacture and engineer. My background is engineering, and my numbers show me we are second expensive place in the world. Maybe only Switzerland and Japan are more expensive, let's say, in terms of engineering costs. There's a very nice statement from the CEO from Festo says this quite simple equation. The more you are more expensive, the more you have to be better. Full stop. If not, manufacturing disappears. So the challenge is always to be ahead of the crowd. And we cannot compete, let's say, on costs. We have our neighbors in the European Union, which is Romania, Bulgaria. Labor costs are less than 1/4 like European engineering and manufacturing costs. And we cannot be 4 or 5 times more efficient than our Bulgarian, Romanian colleagues and engineers. So the only idea is, let's say, not only work harder, work smarter. It's not only about efficiency, it's about effectiveness, doing the right things. The other challenges what we have is a lack of skilled workforce. We're desperately looking for engineers. Especially in Germany, we have a lot of programs, let's say, bring more engineers. We go to the high school, similar like you have your STEAM program, similar initiatives are going on in Europe. We desperately try to get more female engineers back to work after they have their kids, etc. And also we need to see when the current political discussion also, let's say, we are welcoming the refugees because we hope some of them can be upskilled and say, be part of our high-tech workforce. The other thing is goes to the market. A couple of years, let's say, on the slide was, let's say, the boom in the BRIC, the boom in Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Well, the moment it shows India is a kind of last BRIC standing, because we have significant problems, let's say, in Brazil. We have embargo against Russia, and also in China, let's say, the growth is, let's say, the growth rate are a little bit, let's say, going down. And some other challenges, of course, aging society. Europe, especially in Germany, is the place of the aging society. It's a very, very easy forecast how the workforce and, let's say, the population will be in a couple of years. Once we stay in mind of engineer, also you have to turn this challenge into opportunity. What German industry is doing, we do the research, also partly at UT or with UT, let's say, what is the aging society in the future? What does it mean? It's not only, let's say, challenge also maybe a new market, new work content, new workplace design. Because it's not only Europe, it's also Australia, it's also your Chinese neighbors will face the same problems of aging society very, very soon. And the other thing is business models. In Europe, we talk very much about electrical cars. I'm a big fan of electrical cars, but I don't buy one. I'm a big supporter of the Car2Go from Mercedes. Car2Go is very simple, because you have a membership card, there's lots of the smart cards around. You don't pay them, you just grab them, you open them with a smart card, you pre-book them with the smartphone, you only pay 20 cents per minute. Quite simple. It's a little bit like Coffee-Do, Car2Go. And I think that's the best way, let's say, to put the electric cars off the street. You don't worry about the batteries, you don't worry about the range, you just grab them when you need them. So the summary there is, yes, manufacturing industry is booming in Europe. It's going very well. We have some challenges, we have some clouds on the horizon. We are the most expensive place, but the summary, we have to innovate. If our manufacturing industry is not innovating, they will disappear. And that's also the idea why I present you here, kind of, let's say, some trends. Innovation is very much, let's say, making best use of the trends. Be early to the market, have some innovative advantage. Do not compete on cost, compete of innovation, compete of smartness. So this is a sample what I will show you, not very much, let's say, based on data-driven research, but I would say more based on practical experience, what we collected over the last years. Not, let's say, just private, let's say, war stories, what we collected. Again, Festo, which is one of our showcase companies next to Stuttgart, family-owned company, few 10,000 people, very, very well performing. Also, they changed a little bit the strategy, maybe partly to our project, what we did with them, Fit to Solve, going towards solutions. They changed their strategy from a component manufacturer to a solution provider. It means not selling anymore their components, but we're offering solutions, and solutions that define as an individualized combination of a product and a service. That's what I offer to the global market. And they're doing very well. They also go to the website, they publish 2 key performance indicators. One of them, they invest more than 10% in R&D. Coming back to the subject of our talk this morning, they invest more than 10% in the training of their people. This is the 2 key performance indicators for the future, is R&D and training of people. If you're really interested, I think we'll get the slides afterwards from QMI. I put on the bottom, let's say, a link to 2 statements from the CEO. One of them 2013 about a global solution strategy, and just one from last week, what I think will be the future and how they will ensure the growth for the next upcoming years. So just click on the links when you get the slides. You get a kind of, let's say, first-hand statement. Even I think I click to the video statement from the CEO. So that's one of the strategies, a very successful strategy where you see a lot of our industries. It's not about selling hardware. It's about, let's say, solving your customer's problem. And the other nice trend, it's also part of my own research, is about, let's say, innovation, not at the top of the pyramid, but a little bit on the bottom of the pyramid. Good enough products, good enough innovations, frugal and entry-level products. Because what you know, and everybody knows, the big growing markets of the future will maybe not be in Western Europe. There will be treasury countries where you have very price-sensitive markets. That will be the future markets. Maybe Vietnam, maybe Malaysia, maybe South Latin America, maybe Africa. Maybe they will not afford the Porsches, but they will get cars like the Dacia. Or a big experiment, let's say, it was in India with the Tata Nano car, which also nice lessons learned about innovation, because let's say Tata Nano was not such a much success for the Tata. A little bit the story, the second mouse gets the cheese, but it was a very good story for the German car manufacturers. Because Bosch and Bayer and Mahle and all the other suppliers, they learned how to re-engineer the product and processes. For example, Bosch, they made a fuel injection pump for this car for only 10% of the cost of a regular pump. So these lessons learned of re-engineering your products down to a cost of 10% of the existing product, that's a very important capability. That's the lessons learned. That you get ready, let's say, for not only price-sensitive markets, but also help to defend your home market against competitors from low-cost countries. So it's not only about the Bosch and whatever you see here, Domol and Dali, these are providers, let's say, to the German Aldi. Whenever you go to Aldi and buy your food there or your detergents, also there's a German industry behind. Or you go to IB's budget, where we get some service engineering projects around. It's not only limited to products, also going to services. Or Leica, or SAE, Eurodrive, or Wagner. Also put, let's say, there 3 Australian products. We made some pilots, for example, here with QMI a couple of years ago. Here in Brisbane with Centre, nice company down in Eagle Farms making sliding doors, and PDE that makes products and services to the mining industry. I think the most famous product we talk about entry-level product is the Yellowtail. Because Yellowtail is not only a wine, it's a systematically engineered product to compete in the US market against beer and alcopops. So also, let's say, in your industries, you can design entry-level products and be extremely successful in the market. As I said, this is one of the trends, and I think if you talk about manufacturing, it's not only about the top end, it's also, let's say, you have some skills to be able to innovate on entry-level products. And the other thing, of course, you can see everywhere, forget about mass customization, forget about mass production, everything is customization. No anymore mass production of cars, no anymore mass production of fridges or white goods, everything will be individualized. Again, you can learn from other industries. It's about platforms, it's about modular architecture, it's about configurators. Individualized, personalized, and even, let's say, include a customer. The customer shall create his own product. So then he's happy with it. Okay. Automotive industry, like Fiat did it in Brazil with the Fiat Mio. But even you can try it out. Just go to the IKEA website where you can customize your kitchen, or go to Adidas where you can customize your soccers, your sport shoes. Bicycles are like very much the mountain bike there. But it's not only, let's say, consumer goods, more and more you see this also in the B2B market. It's also about industrial components, packaging machines, pumps, etc., etc. The one size fits all, it's gone. Everything will be individualized in the future. And you as a manufacturer have to be ready to offer this personalized and individualized solutions and hardware for the customer, or even maybe for the customer of your customers. John already talked about additive, hybrid, and rapid manufacturing. That's the future. It's not that disruptive. The technology is around for more than 20 years. In the moment they get a kind of second wind because a lot of the patents expire right now. So there's a new innovation coming up. It's not only about additive manufacturing. I, for example, like very much the hybrid one. So there's a German machine on the market from Rödertech, especially for tooling, that it's combining the best of both worlds. In one, let's say, machine, you have, let's say, laser metal build-up together with high-speed cutting. And it gives you quite an advantage, let's say, if you want to make tooling. Talk about medical devices. Our Fraunhofer colleagues from Aachen, they have a lot of patents on selective laser sintering and melting. They already have this individualized hip pens on the market. If you have the issue with your hip, you get artificial hip pen. Maybe you have a good chance, let's say, you get some of them, let's say, designed by Fraunhofer. And it's not only the high-end titanium, laser melted stuff. The good and interesting thing is now 3D printing gets a commodity. Just yesterday, my students, they came back with the first parts what they printed in their unit to make a new steering wheel for the new race car, Fuji Motorsports. But also, let's say, if you realize technology is a commodity, it's if you can buy it at Aldi. So Aldi is offering the 3D printers for $500. The interesting thing, they only offered it in Australia. So whenever the technology is available for $500 at Aldi, you realize it's a commodity. So be aware of this. This opens a lot of, let's say, new opportunities.